Hello, everybody. How y'all doing this morning, this night, really? Um, I hope that a lot of you have received my son's feedback. I'm complimenting on my uh, son, his wonderful testimony that he gave from the heart. Now, this outreach is not just only about my ministry. I had got a comment saying that that it was a ministry just about me, when it is not about me. You see, the things that you just heard is things that I'm trying to address in this ministry. Where young people feel the freedom and need to express themselves and how they feel, and across the internet, and to spread their message all out through the world. And see, when people say things like church, I also got a compliment, somebody complimented, gave me an opinion, whether they gave their opinion, saying that I am not the church. Well, the church starts in your heart. The church is something that begins in us, because we can go to church every Sunday, but God have to be in your heart. Now, I'm not saying that we all are perfect. There's no one perfect but the man that's sitting upon the throne, and God and his son Jesus that is sitting at the right hand side of our Father. And now that I just want to remind everyone this holiday season is to remind every parent this holiday season, please get your children and hug your children. Children, run to your parents, and just take this holiday time to come together as a family, not even just after the holiday, but continue it on. Just don't wait until the holiday is here and then you stop after the holiday season. This is something that must keep going on and on and on. But as I was saying about my son's comment, I love it so, and I'm not boasting because it's my son. But I just want every parent and every child to know that learning your child starts at home. Learning them, it starts at home. Teaching them. But also church is also a place where we also go and learn. But when we go to church, we listen to the pastor. God gives the pastor a word, and the pastors delivers the word to us. But when we go into the church and everything, the church is supposed to be like a healing place, where when you go in and you're brokenhearted and you're feeling down or whatever going on with you, the church is supposed to be, when you go in there, is a healing, is a place of healing. When you leave out, your soul is supposed to feel satisfied when you leave out of the church. But if you leave out the way you came in, and it's some praying that we all need to do. But when I say, y'all got to excuse me for this, because my heart is just still bubbling over what my son said. He's talking to all the young kids out there, teenagers. I pray that y'all listen to that message of his, because he is a dynamic speaker, and I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of any teenager, anyone out there that's got their head in them books and just keep in with it. Just keep going with it. Just keep going with it. I'm not going to say too much because my son had already said it all. But I just wanted to just say that all teenagers, I want all of you to make a video of yourself, of yourself saying something positive. Go out with 2012 with a positive message that will have an impact on those that are coming up into 2013, and just go out with a positive message, and let your voice be heard through the internet service, through the World Wide Web. This is what it's all about. This is who needs to come to the Lord, are the children, the teenagers, the adults. Now, I'm responding back to a comment saying that a person had went through my past. Now, as you see me sitting here, I am not an apostle, nor am I a minister. I am a missionary, and that is something ordained by God. My son just said here, and he did a word of encouragement with that made him a missionary, because he spoke the word of God and he spoke things of encouragement. And that's what a missionary does. I mean, a missionary doesn't just go out and just say that he or she going to just spread the word of God. That's not the only job. But y'all, we need to come together and to help the young generation out today, because they're calling for our help today. There are a lot of people out there, a lot of young children, a lot of young parents that are calling for help from people, and they don't know where to get it from. They don't know how to speak to people about their help. And, but I just want to just tell everybody now, children, I don't want you to think that you only have to be in church in order to get God in your life. Remember, I just said that God starts, that it starts in your heart. The church is just a structure, a place of a structure. But God is not coming back and just for the church itself. He's coming back for us, not for the church. He coming back for what's inside of us. He coming back. He's looking at the way we are living our lives. And, it doesn't say, God doesn't say that he's not a God that's saying that I don't forgive you, if you've done wrong things in your life, that I forgive you. He's not an unforgiving. He's not a God that's like that, which we know it said that we know that we're dealing with a God that is slow to anger, but the quick to have mercy, which is so. He's a God that is slow to anger. And I want to read this to you. It said about God unchanging love. It's nothing we can do to make God love us less. It's nothing we can do to make God love us more. It said his love is unconditional and unending. It said all he asks of us is that we respond, and that we respond to him with love. And love that he gives with a love that is unchangeable. You see, the Lord have to put that love down in your heart. You have to have love for people. My son and all of these young kids, I'm speaking on their behalf of y'all. I know that y'all have heart, the guys that play football. I know you have heart. And I pray that you keep that up, that you keep having heart, that you do not let no one destroy your dreams, that you don't let the drugs, that you don't let the alcohol, none of these things destroy your dreams. Don't, like my son said, I told my son, don't prove anything to me, prove it to yourself. Don't try to satisfy me, make yourself happy. And so a lot of kids today are trying to satisfy mom and dad, when it's not about mom and dad, it's about the way the children, how they feel about life themselves, the way they feel about, because a lot of them say, well, I need to go to school today. My mama, I got to do this work. I got to do that work. Oh, my mama and daddy going to get all on my case if I don't do it. You see, my children knows, they know that educations come first before any sport. Education is the key. You can't go out here and get a job if you get a job and don't have an education. That's all right, but you can start small and work your way up. But I'm not putting down nobody. My past is not all that great. I did wrong things in my past. I'm not going to be ashamed to say it. It's been times that I've been in and out of jail, but I never did get any jail time. This before I became a husband, and even before I became a father, and before I even met my wife. A lot of us have done things in our life that, as being young, that we know that we have fractional, we have had some run up against the law and everything as well. But God can bring you over all of that. And I want to talk to all those mothers out there, those young mothers and older mothers. Keep holding on to God's hand. Like it says that God's love is unconditional and is unending. And He is not going to hate you for a pregnancy that came up, an unexpected pregnancy. He's not going to get mad because that you are conceived that child through not wedlock, through not marriage. A lot of people think that that you have to be married to have kids, which that is true to the book of the law. But I understand the way of the world today. Parents, we have to work with the children too. We got to work with our children. In churches, we have to work with our children as well. That's why a lot of children are afraid to come to church. There's a reason why some of them are afraid to come to church, because they're afraid of being judged by other people, because they may wear what they call snapbacks or put do-rags on their heads and whatever. They think that they're going to be judged by that. But just like the Lord told Solomon about that, don't judge you judging the outer appearance, and said, but you're not judging the inner appearance. And so people look at us, as all of us in this world, as what's on the outside, but not what's in the inside. See, we can try to explain ourselves to man all we want to, but God knows what's in the inside, and that's what God's going to look at. He's going to look at the heart. He's not going to look at how many Sundays that we go to church, and He's not going to look at how many Bible studies that you have attended. It's what's in the heart that matters. And a lot, like I said, a lot of young people are afraid to come to church because they think that they're going to get judged. Because of what they wear, and they're afraid if they don't say the right thing that they're going to be chastised for it, and they're going to be criticized. I might as well say criticized, excuse the word chastised, but criticized, but in this journey of life, I notice whenever you try to do something good, I notice that you get knocked down. And see, I know that's right there. I know we all know what that is. Like the Bible say that we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. And we know that means Satan, and all of those evil spirits that walk along with Satan. But I'm just lost for words, y'all. And, I am just lost for words of what my son said. I mean, there's nothing really that I can say too much to really back all of that up, but just saying that I'm proud of him, and I'm going to keep being proud. And it's been things through this ministry that I have learned from my own son. Been times that I want to give up because of what people have said about me, and people have said, look at this young man walking around town holding Bibles and with a pen on. The pen doesn't make who I am. The pen doesn't make me a missionary. It's what's in the inside that makes that. Is what God does. God commands that. God makes that. That's not a thing that have to be ordained through a church. Like my son, what he just did, it was an outreach ministry that he just did. He did something that was on the outreach, because he gave words of encouragement to the young generation, even to the older generation. And I just want to say, I'm not saying that my son, is perfect, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect. We all do things. As parents, I know that we got to understand how our teenagers, how they feel and everything. And I know that some days in school, they have had rough days in school. And, and sometimes they may not want to talk about it. But I just want to say to your parents, try to figure out what's going on. If your child is having problems, try to figure out what's going on with your child. If it's emotional problems or whatever the problem may be. I'm not calling anybody's child crazy or anything like that, but a lot of kids are calling for the helps of parents and the helps of adults, us, as adults. And we be silent. Some of the kids say, well, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to just get in trouble or put down for what I say. And so, I've learned from my kids, and still learning from them today. I don't understand some of the, the slang talk that they talk like about going ham and all those kind of different things. But, it just understanding the way your child feel, let your child express themselves. Sometimes we can all get in the heat of the moment when we're all upset with one another, that I could say that had happened, with me and my children. I have gotten in the heat of the moment, and I know sometimes y'all tell the parents, let me talk. And, and as parents, sometimes we, we just take over and don't want to hear anything at that time from what you all have to say at that time. But I just want to say to the entire city and to the entire world today, the message, yes, is about God. The ministry, I call it Griffin Outreach Ministry. Yes, it is about God. Yes, it is. But things like this, people, needs to be addressed. I want all of you young people, if you have these webcams or whatever, express how you feel. If you cannot get it expressed through your family or through anyone else, to people that you think that you say, well, I can't tell it to this person because I don't really trust that person, because that person is a backstabber or whatever. But I encourage you to try to voice your opinion on how you feel deep inside of your heart. You don't really have to leave your name if you don't want to. You don't even have to tell your real name. You make up a fake name. Even if you make it on YouTube or however you may get your videos made. But I just want to say that in closing, I just want to just read this a little bit. Within this holiday season, We know that there are a lot of people that are sick, and we know there are a lot of people that are dealing with cancer, and among other illnesses, uncurable diseases. But I lost many cousins due to cancer. I know, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you and your family have. Let's keep fighting for the cause of cancer. Let us keep fighting for all the causes of those that are cured for diabetes. Let us keep fighting for those causes. Let us keep helping to try to see what we can do to try to come up with a cure. But only thing we can't do is just keep God in our life. Children, I just want to say, don't be afraid to go to church, and don't worry about nobody judging you. I'm telling you that, and I'm also telling myself the same thing about people judging. Because, as it was said, that my son told me of a rapper that said that only God can judge. And God is the only one that can judge us. But I want everyone to know, I do want you in church, and I do need to be in church. I'm going to say that I don't be every Sunday also. But it's out a lot of times on Sunday that I'm doing missionary working on the outside of my home. And so sometimes I go where God sent me to go. But once again, our churches is just a structure. But the church begins in your heart. Like the Bible said, to train up a child, it must start in the home. A lot of people don't just wait to try to bring your children to church, to try to train them up in the church. But it also means train up your child in your home. And so it begins at home. And I encourage all of you, everyone, all of us, let's do this. Let's just do this. Before you go to church, say your prayers to the Lord before you go to church. If it's something in your life that you know that needs to be changed, talk to the Lord about it before you get into the house of the Lord. Because when you go there, you're supposed to listen to the pastor, listen to the words, and fellowship with all the other Christians, and listen to the songs of singing and the voices of singing. And as you do that, just know when you do that, you know then that your heart has been changed. If you leave the church and you feel better than what you felt when you got there, and that keep on the entire week, you know then, hey, that's where I need to be. I need to be there. But don't expect for the pastors or anyone else to save you, because those of the clergy, all of us have to also pray for ourselves to get ourselves saved, and because a lot of us got things in the closet and things that we're not saying. But I'm just going to end this. I just want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And like I said, keep looking at my son's video. Listen to him. Parents, bring your children into the room, or grandparents, bring your children into the room, and let them listen to the video in its whole entirety, and listen to it, and even listen to this one. But like I say, I'm not a prophet, I'm not an apostle, I'm not a preacher. I want to make that known to a comment that I received earlier, which I know everybody have the right, to voice their opinion. But I just wanted to get that out the way. Let's also take a view at ourselves also. So I'm also taking a view of myself. As Michael Jackson made a song that the man in the mirror. And so I see myself as a man in the mirror. I see myself with some things that I must change in my life as well. And we all got to do the same. We all must change. Let's go into 2012 with a positive attitude, not with a negative attitude, not with a attitude of jealousy or envy or bearing grudges on one or another. Let us not go into 2013 with that, because none of us is not guaranteed to even see 2013, but we have to take it one day at a time, day by day, each hour, and each minute, each second of the day and night. Because tonight, when you close your eyes, God is going to have the last word, and He's going to command the body to go to sleep. And in the morning, He's going to command the body to wake up. Not the alarm clock, but God. And so let's keep staying with God, and let's keep doing things like my son is doing. I encourage all of y'all to do this. Parents, put them in front of these cams and tell them, do that. Tell them, do it. Listen to that young man. And you say something. Tell them, say, now I want you to say something. But I don't want you to force them, though. But let them come, let them come as they will. But I want their heart to be in it. As they also speak to other kids. Young girls do the same. Young female girls do the same. But within this, I wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until I might not talk to you again until then. But if I do, then I'll see you one day next week in God's name and our Father's name and in the Son of Jesus and with His Son Jesus.